Peace, peace, my peaceful people. What's good? It's your brother, man, Saanuaqa. We are on the other side of the year that's new. How about that? It just happens to be December 31st, right? But you know how they want you, what, a week late? A couple of hours too short? Yeah, somebody wants y'all late. You know how that go. But, yeah, that's for Greg and them. Greg and them told y'all that, right? We stick with the ancients, right? We stick with what's going on in the cosmos, right? We know that we are affected by the sun, right? The sun affects us, right? So, we understand that, when the sun is on its way back, that's the call for the new year, okay? So, yeah, I hope everybody is, strengthened in the work that they have done in their persons, right? I hope that everybody is, I don't hope, I'm certain that everybody is moving in the right direction as far as that, as far as their New Year's resolutions and things like that we were supposed to start a couple weeks ago, right? Things like that, And as I was doing my meditation, what came back is, or what came up is, get back up. Get back up. Get back up is the message that came through spirit. No matter, what you're dealing with, right? What you're working on internally, externally, right? No matter what failures you go through, right? We all go through failures in life. But what makes a winner is the fact that he gets back up. The winner gets back up. The winner maintains the high vibration because that's where the win is, right? No matter how many times you lost. You could have lost, last week, yesterday, 10 years, tomorrow, okay? But when you're committed within to the win, that's when you get back up, right? It's nothing going to hold you down because you know that nothing is as strong as you. Nothing on this planet is as strong as you when your mind is on the win. When your heart is set to the win, then nothing can defeat you. So get back up. Some of us already fell off our New Year's resolution. But get back up. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. You might fall off that horse. Don't sweat it. Don't take the time. Don't take the energy. Don't mess with your vibration like that by sweating it. Right? You get back up. Get back up and recommit. Just recommit. That's all. Just recommit. Reflect. Make your repentances within. Right? Because we're not worshiping gods over here. We're cultivating God within. That's what we're doing. It's not about worshiping. God don't need that. God really is so big that God doesn't need your little itty bitty worship. God is not, out here, oh, this person didn't worship me. But that's childish. That's something that man does. Oh, I'm a jealous God. That's untrue. Untrue. God ain't jealous. God abhors that emotion. It knows that it's a fallacy, a farce. It's a human emotion that God don't deal with. All right? So, it's about being focused in this life. We come here to grow ourselves. We come here with curriculums and missions. You know what I mean? And we go back to the heavens and we connect with God, right? We reconnect and we take our positions, God made us. God made us a portion of itself. Said, you go over here and you do that. You go over here and you do that. You go over here and you do that. And then, we get in our positions and we do what we do, right? But then at some point, it's about cultivation for us as these pieces of God, right? So God said, go to earth, go to school, and grow yourself through these challenges that you're going to exist in, right? You're going to have finite challenges of life. Life is going to come now, test your spirit this way. It's going to test your Osir faculty. It's going to test your Heru faculty. It's going to test your Oset faculty, right? During the tale for the ancient Egyptians who codified, who were able to tap in and break down the understanding of God, right? In its fullness, in its parts. So we can understand our spirit in its fullness, you know? So you'll have your challenges where the different spheres of life are concerned. And God, the God within, is challenging you to grow within those classrooms, you know? So it's all about the classrooms. It's all about the challenges. That's why you get back up. That's why you get back up. Because it's set up that way. Do I care for all of those that challenged me in my life? You know, all of those, you know, little people who, you know, got mad at me for this and, you know, did this and did that. Okay, all y'all doing is growing a God over here because I got the right mind. My mind is focused on growth. My mind understands what your challenge was about. You know, my mind understands what that experience was about. That's why there's no need to be sad. That's why I can go from an L to an L and maintain enthusiasm. Yeah, maintain the same enthusiasm. Because I know that L was put here to make me achieve the big W. Right? I cultivate the God within. Challenges are a part of that mission. L's are a part of that mission. What you do, you dust yourself off and try again. Okay? That's what life is about. That's what this great spirit, this great computer, you know what I mean? This super cyborg that you were gifted to walk in is about. That's why you got that. This thing that you can cut that will heal itself over time. This is all beautiful technology, you know? You know? And the technology of mantra, right? See, this is why we know that Tehuti is a spirit. We know this because Tehuti's spirit comes up when we're wondering. Okay, it comes up. This wasn't some man that you worship, or, you know, this wasn't some man that, you know, now you go and worship. No, this wasn't some man. You know, it's possible there was an individual that walked around named Tehuti. But I'll tell you this much, you know, that individual, you know, was possessed of a spirit of God, and that spirit is a spirit of knowing. And how do I know this? Because when I'm wanting to know, automatically, without ever being taught, okay, without ever being taught, my and your spirit, okay, you who I'm talking to, your spirit goes, what is this? That tells you that this is a spirit. The spirit of wisdom responds to the vibration of So, y'all do with that what you will. Same thing with Om. We've talked about this before. But we got to talk about it again, right? You know, we not out here, you know, believing in, you know, false stuff, just worshiping stuff, or, you know, putting our time and our energy and our focus into like some man, or, you know, some astronaut, as some people say. you know. Nah, you know, I can't tell you that there was not some astronaut, but I can tell you that when I go and I focus on right here, this point here, I go to heaven. Heaven descends upon me. Okay? So that's proof. That's proof. Okay? You prove God to yourself. You know, so all of my atheists, you know, hey, I applaud you for being critical enough to ask the question. You know, I applaud you for being critical enough to be able to see through all of the bullshit that's out here that they call religion. Okay? I applaud you. You know, you are thinking critically. You're doing what you're supposed to do in that regard. You know, but I say, you know, don't stop there. Don't stop there. You know, understand the wonderment that all of this is, and then see the divine within that, right? Then prove God to yourself, right? Go on a mission. Go on a mission. First tell your spirit, hey, spirit, tell me, show me. You command your spirit to show you, and your spirit will show you what's what. You know, who is God, what is God. You know, don't just write it off because, you know, this religion over here did you dirty. You know what I mean? Don't do that. That's a mistake. You know, because you're ignoring something that's in here. That's where you gotta go to find it. Gotta go within. You know what I mean? The various mantras that are associated with the various deities on the tree of life are all productive of a vibration that sends you to that sphere within, that awakens within that sphere. You know, so you cultivate. You know, you don't just, you know, oh, I pulled the Sebek, I'm going to go worship Sebek. No, we don't worship Sebek. We call forth Sebek for this situation over here. You know, we call forth Tehuti, you know, for that protection or whatever it may be. Get going. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, some of us need that. Some of us need to get going. You know, so call forth the power within your spirit. You know, you must know that it's there, though, in order for you to embark on that mission. Call forth that spirit. It's there. It's there. Those mantras work. You have to work them. Work your mantras. Always purify with Om. Use that Om mantra before you chant the rest of those mantras, because that places the light on it. That places God on it. Okay? Don't do the mantras without that Om. Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, I don't know if that's what's going to come out in the cards today, but I tell you, that's what was coming out in my meditation. So, you know, there you go. All right, so we came to do a reading for our week. So here we go. Let us go to Tehuti and see what he wants us to know. Shout out to Drew Lucy. Peace to you. I put out the call for y'all to show me how I could get in touch with the King Praxis by Ra'u Nefa Amen. And that individual did me one better by creating an electronic copy and sending it to me. So he sent that thing to me, right? And what I've actually done, I put the call out. I haven't received an answer yet, but I put a call out to, you know, the website for Shekim the Kemetic Legacy website. And where was it? I sent an email. I did something. Because I tried to go to Kemetic Legacy, but you can't get past the part where it says department. right? You're supposed to put in a department, and you can't really get past that part. So you can't really send the message unless I'm just missing it, right? But I've tried it a number of times. Can't send out that message in that way. So if anybody, and I did it another way. I think I left a YouTube comment to because that was the only other way I knew. I have to go in my old emails. Hopefully, Shechem still has that email. But yeah, I'm looking to get you payment, right? So that I'm not just using your work out here. I want to get you payment for that material. Because we're about to do the E King. Not today, right? But in the next few days, we're going to be starting this E King class that I told you I was going to do a long time ago. I make sure I do everything I say I'm going to do, right? It may take me a minute to get to it, but trust me, if I say it, I'm on it, right? Other things to do, sometimes we get distracted, and I let life distract me, but I always get back to that which I said I would. So, all right, yes, I want to say thank you to, I'm not sure if that's a brother or a sister, Joe Lucy, right? Because the name is, ambiguous, But, yeah, thank you to you, much appreciation. Definitely a subscriber who has shown much appreciation. Appreciate that much. All right, so yeah, that being said, let's talk to Tehuti for the week. Let us pray. It's Tehuti. Smoke rules here, give that. Korpinapa, or in eyes of Salau. Herupuan attempt to captain in every chair. Korpa in Siha, the Jarin, the Jarit. And it's wrapped to meditate Tehuti. Dwamadu to Paibantu. It's wrapped. 10. I was seriously king the Bagua. Jin. Ku. Cha. Su. Hi. Ka. Tui. Ken. Dwa. Dao. It's wrapped. 10. I was spiritually tarot, the major arcana, the minor arcana, of the elements, the air, the water, fire, and the earth, duality. Okay. Okay, so this is for the week of, we're going to take it from today, which is the 31st. Right, we're going from the 31 to the 6th. December 31 to January 6, 2024. Tehuti number. Alright, that's what we're talking about. Love my handwriting, please. Thank you very much. Alright. Seker tuchas. Seker tuchas. Seker tuchas. Seker hetep. Very interesting, as this is the sun season of Capricorn. Right? Seker. On the case here. Alright, we got Seker Tuchas, Seker Hetep. That is not a reading that we get often around here. Alright, Seker, on the case. Okay. So, Seker, when you see Seker, you are cautioned to slow down. That's verbatim out the Meduniter. To stop even, right? Seker Tuchas is like waiting, right? So some of us are waiting for something, right? You're waiting for stuff, right? The week, right? Okay, so Mercury retrograde is going to be lasting until about tomorrow or the next day, right? So, wait to sign that contract, right? Contracts, that's another thing, right? That Seker is about, right? Waiting, right? So, also meditating, right? You see that tuchas, that's a verb, so it's like, whatever the deity is, you are doing the thing, right? You are, so if it's Seker, it's not just stop, it's waiting. You know what I mean? It's not just, it's meditating, right? So you're focused in a Seker way, right? You are slowing it down, right? So yeah, we are this week with that reading, right? Seker Tuchas, Seker Hetep. You're slowing it down, right? That which you had planned, you probably want to, actually, that's another thing, right? You want to plan whatever you're doing well, right? You want to wait and plan. That's what we're doing here. We're waiting, we're planning. All right, let me do it like this even. We're meditating, right, as we wait, because we intuit the plan that way, right? We go within and we're thinking about whatever it is, the mission, the, goal, whatever it is that you're trying to do. You are meditating on what you're trying to do while you wait, right? While you wait for that Mercury to go ahead and turn back, right? While you're waiting to sign that contract or whatever it is, you're planning, right? So this is a week of meditation and planning, right? This is the time of all of that, right? The general time is, slow down. The general time is meditate and plan, right? So this is right alongside, this is doing what nature is doing. Nature, during this time, is when the spirit, again, is open, right? This is the best time for meditation. This is 12 o'clock at night, right? This is 12 o'clock midnight in the year cycle, right? So during that time, that's the best time to meditate because your spirit is more open, more able to be receptive, more able to, receive something, now you go to sleep, and you let that thing work. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we are continuing what we've been doing, up through the solstice time, right? This is the time of waiting and meditating, right? Cultivating whatever we're doing, in terms of our plan, cultivating the plan. We're still, it's not a whole lot of time for, or this is not the right time for a whole lot of, I love it the way the words get backwards, movement, right? A whole lot of, extra doing stuff. Yeah, you got to do stuff, right? Because, this is life. We still live in life. Even though the general time is slow down. So do that. Just do what you got to do. Slow down and be thoughtful about what you're doing. This is not, about being impulsive. That's what I want to say. Now is not a time for impulsive behavior. Now is a time for, meditated, intuitive plans. Confirmation. All right, let's talk to the I Ching. What is the I Ching talking to us about this week? Open. Close. Open. open, close, open. Count on the bottom. Closed, 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 open, stress. Close, open, stress is the 47. Hexagram 4 to 7 into the 6. Alright, hexagram 47, top line stress. I don't recall pulling a 47 since I've been doing readings on YouTube. I could be wrong. Yeah, 47 is the hexagram of exhaustion. I might have pulled this once or twice. Yeah, this is like, this is kind of can be a disappointing hexagram, right? This is, this is like, this can be a disappointing hexagram. But this line is pretty good. Let's go ahead and crack open our trusty I Praxis, right? Which is a work by Shechem Ra'un Amen, who I will go on record as saying it's pretty much the best I person that we got on this planet right now that's making themselves known anyway, right? That we know. Right? We don't know what they're doing in the background, but in terms of anybody that's out there in I world, okay, this guy is the guy, okay? This is an individual who has, I've said it before, who has been able to do thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of readings for people and then watch them play out in life and write them down, right? I've taken that example with my own readings, right? I've done many readings and I write my stuff down as we talk about, you know what I mean? And, you study the outcomes, you study, how the related details of the circumstance, right, of the keynotes that we get in these hexagrams, we study how these come out and we're able to have an understanding of what we're talking about here. So, this individual, I first learned the King, I was dealing with my scrolls, right? My scrolls is the astrology of the I Ching, which is a very, very good text. On the I Ching. You'll find that some texts are better than others. You know what I mean? Plenty people wrote about I Ching stuff, but that's one of the better ones. Also, the Wilhelm Bain's Book of Changes is the other, that I got in scroll form over there. And, these two, as a matter of fact, what I was going to do for the class is I was going to go into both of those books and pull out the keynotes. So, and then, kind of compare them so that we get full understanding of the hexagrams. But, what Shechem has done in, this book right here, which is the I Ching transcripts, right, which is a transcripted series of lectures on the I Ching. Where he basically does that, right? He takes the best out of those two books and, kind of brings it together and sort of corrects it, right? He corrects those texts. Because, you have, like Wilhelm is like, a European scholar. Baines is like a scholar from Europe who, these people got the text. They were counseled by the, Chinese priests. You know what I mean? And, they wrote down what they wrote down. But, there's something to be desired in terms of, full interpretation of the principles of the I Ching by these Europeans. No offense. It is what it is. Right? Same thing with astrology of the I Ching, Chu and Sherelle. Right? So, so Shechem being a priest, you know what I'm saying? Being someone who's very knowledgeable and on a lot of different things, someone who has the ability to, peer into a body of work and recognize the various flaws, just according to occultism, according to various levels of knowledge of occultism, and pull out the nuggets, right, and leave some of the other stuff. So the I Ching praxis is a piece of work that I do know that he spent a lot of time dealing with, and kind of doing exactly what he did with the I Ching transcripts, but it's more concise, right? So so actually for the class, what we're going to do is deal with the I Ching transcripts and the praxis book to pull out that knowledge. All right. Okay, so that being said, let me go to hexagram 47 in the I Ching praxis, right? The other name for hexagram 47 is oppression, right? So it's oppression and exhaustion. So this is a picture of kind of a disappointing kind of circumstance, right? One is oppressed, one is exhausted by whatever is going on around or inside of him, right? So let's talk about the judgment, okay? This is the text. The judgment. The 47th hexagram is composed of Tui, the emotional and sensual faculty, over Khan, the symbol of inexperience, lack of knowledge, etc. This combination represents an incorrect emotional reaction to the challenges in life. Okay? Incorrect emotional reaction to the challenges of life. That's how we start off. This hexagram provides instruction on how to deal with the oppression of stressful responses to adversity. Stressful responses to adversity. It is important to realize that the feeling of oppression or stress is not a natural or unavoidable reaction to adversity. Oppression represents the state of illness, stress, and nothing that is harmful can be natural. Let's run that back. All right. Oppression represents a state of illness, stress. That's a state of illness because we're supposed to be happy. Amen is the top of the tree within us, right? Oppression represents a state of illness. Stress is, okay. And nothing that is harmful can be natural. Stress is harmful. It leads to illness, right? He just said it is a state of illness, right? Especially when we have the option to react with peace to adversity, right? Hence the ability to take a L and keep smiling. Sincerely smile, right? Not just fake the game, okay. Dust ourselves off and try again. This is lessons, this is classrooms, this is life. So we dust ourselves off and try again. We have an elevated disposition towards the adversity that we have received. You know what I'm saying? We have see, again, the ego is what hurts. The ego hurts. If you are seeped in your ego, then you're going to hurt. You're going to feel every bit of that pain. But if your consciousness is at an elevated point, right, above that ego, right, then you're going to coast over the pain, right? You're going to be able to, let me not even say it like that, right? You're going to be at a better position to be able to deal with adversity, pain, right? Pain is not something that you're going to wallow in. You're going to be able to transcend the pain by rising past that. All right, let's get back to the text. Right? Oppression represents a state of illness, stress, and nothing that is harmful can be natural, especially when we have the option to react with peace to the adversity. Moreover, although one would not be inclined to enjoy the adversity, one can enjoy the fact that one's ability to remain at peace represents the culmination of spiritual development. Right? Cultivation is what we're doing. We are cultivating the God within. Right? Peace in the midst of adversity is what the ancient Egyptians referred to as Hetep, the Hindus as Nirvana, and the Chinese as Wuji. The fact that wisdom and superpower flows out of the state of peace is an additional reason for joy, right? Meaning you go through something, but you respond with peace, and like magic, wisdom descends upon you about the circumstance or about other stuff. I'll give you an example. I had a pause for a second. I had a tumultuous situation. I just used that word 2 weeks in a row. I had a crazy situation, a breakup with the young lady, this was years and years ago, right? That's just one of our breakups, right? Because we was doing the back and forth thing. This was crazy. It was a crazy situation. Me and this individual could never go to the beach together, which was a clue to me after a while, because the beach is what? Offset. We had an offset reading, actually, as a matter of fact. But every time we would go to the beach, it would rain cats and dogs. It would rain, and then we would turn around, go home, and the sun would come back out. This happened like 2-3 occasions. You know what I mean? Life was trying to tell us something, I thought, anyway. So we at the beach. It's raining, right? And we arguing, right? I don't know what the argument was about, but it was about something. And so, the solution to it all was, I bonk you. You know what I'm saying? And we was in her car, right? So, so it was like, all right, we out, we went through, it was, confusion. It was whatever. It was a fight, It was a fight on the beach or at the beach. And she drove off, and, she went back, to, the city where we lived in, which was about 100 and something miles from the beach. And I was out there on the beach. You know what I'm saying? And, it was actually a time when, where she picked me up from in Philly, my I didn't have my wallet with me. I ain't had no money with me. You know what I mean? But I was like, all right, I'm with my chick. You know what I mean? We good. You know what I mean? Mistake. Classroom. All right. So we jetted, right? Went to the beach. I went out there with no money, trusting that my lady got me. All right. We breaks up. Okay. She rolls back in the car. Now I got to call my peoples to come get me. All right, so I'm at the beach waiting, right? And it stops raining. Soon as she left, it stopped raining, all right? Craziness. I mean, it's just the way life talks to you. It's just so funny. So while I'm at the beach now, right, waiting on, my peoples to come get me, I'm meditating, right? So I meditated to offset. Okay, funny thing happened. Okay, I meditated. I achieved a peace about the whole circumstance. Right, all these things dawned upon me about how we always, gotta leave the beach because it's raining. Various things about the relationship was off, and the relationship was a Tehuti Tem as well. This particular relationship, it was Tehuti Tem. You don't go against the Tehuti Tem. I learned that in my life, okay? Trying to tell y'all so y'all don't make the mistake. You see Tehuti Tem run. All right. So I achieved a beautiful state of peace. And what happened to me while I chanted to Osset? An oracle came through. Okay, so within me, y'all, I have an oracle within me, right? There was a whole oracle that came through. With the use of the symbolisms of the tree of life, an oracle system came to me on that beach in that night. I must have been meditating for about 4 or 5 hours or something like that. But when I got up, I was floating, and I went back to there was a police station out there. It was basically the only place I could be at that point. It wasn't about, there was no hotels and stuff like that. And, it wasn't even about that. I had a few more hours before my ride would be there. So the cops said, y'all could, you could chill over here. So when I was going through, I saw the marbles on the ground, and then everything came to me. Whoosh, whole download about the use of various materials and the manipulation of a oracle that gives a full reading, right? And part of the reason why I need y'all to help me get some followers is because I don't want to introduce that until I got some followers, until I got some people that could see. Yeah. So that's kind of part of what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? At some point, I'm gonna bring that oracle out, but I give that as an example to say how if you deal with adversity in a state of peace, then wisdom will descend upon you. You will grow in wisdom. I learned that from Shechem Shechem. Shechem Shechem told me that. You know what I mean? If you deal with adversity in a state of peace, then you are afforded power and wisdom. That's how it comes. Through dealing with your challenge in a state of peace. Yeah. So what I did was did I write it down, or I remember speaking it. So I was speaking it into a dictaphone or whatever. I got home. I did the reading. My reading on the oracle that I received was Ma'at Hetep. And, we know Ma'at and Tehuti are brother and sister. Ma'at is my clan mama, right? So Ma'at Hetep came through, for this oracle. You know what I mean? So, I'm going way off right now, but I'm just giving an example of adversity, right? Dealing with your adversity in a state of peace. Yeah. All right, back to the text, y'all. Let's go. All right, let's see. Here we said, let me go from here. Peace in the midst of adversity is what the ancient Egyptians referred to as Hetep, the Hindus as Nirvana, and the Chinese as Wuji. The fact that wisdom and spiritual power flows out of a state of peace is an additional reason for joy. It is this joy combined with peace that defines happiness. It is the chief means of avoiding and transcending the oppression of stress in all its names, anger, fear, etc. By extension, the hexagram also represents the conduct of the spiritually uncultivated or quote-unquote inferior people, right? So you see the I Ching talking about superior people, inferior people, right? Inferior people are people who are basically spiritually uncultivated. These are people who are not really dealing with the cultivation of the spirit, right? Sahu is ruling inferior people. Okay, one must not react stressfully to their unrighteousness. In dealing with them, one is here advised to remain silent for the simple fact that people that are in the grips of their emotions or sensuality are unable at the moment or ever to reason. Right? It's hard to reason when you gripped up in your emotions or in your sensual animal. All right? Whatever you say will not be understood or believed. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is the judgment, right? The judgment is talking about, dealing with adversity in a state of peace. Right? This is, again, the I Ching speaks to superior men. So, I Ching even states it, like, if you're inferior, I have nothing for you. You won't learn anything from this body of knowledge. If you are an inferior person, you won't learn anything through this body of knowledge. That is the I Ching. The I Ching laying it out for you. Mincing no words. Okay. All right. Harlem. Okay, let me see. All right, so I'm not going to read everything, right? So that was the judgment, right? So that's, matter of fact, let me go back. Let's see here. Okay, let's read this. Harlem River Complementary Relationship Council. Okay, so it's talking about the complementary relationship of the hexagram 47. Hexagrams 47 and 22 are complementary. Okay, so the Harlem River the Harlem River arrangement is the arrangement that, was kind of intuited by Shechem Shechem as he was, making his contemplations about the I Ching. All right, so he understood the relationship, the complementary hexagram relationships, meaning that each hexagram 1's complement is hexagram 2. So when you receive a hexagram 1, there's a lot you can receive or get in terms of knowledge, understanding about that reality by looking at its complementary, which is hexagram 2. So here in this situation, and the complementary relationships are based on the trigrams, right? The trigrams, the 3 lines at the bottom and the 3 lines on the top, which make the hexagram, right? Okay, so complementary relationships, here we go. Hexagram 47 and 22 are complementary. In 22, we are counseled to engage in deep reflection and meditation to see clearly the interrelation of form and function. Applying this counsel to hexagram 47, we will enable one to understand the fact that stress responses, anger, fear, sadness, worry, etc., are unnatural given that they are harmful to one's health, intelligence, and performance. We will also discover that the only correct response to adversity is peace, for the simple fact that it represents the opposite of stress and is therefore protective of our health and well-being. Ultimately, we will learn joy, tui, is craved because it energizes the vital physiological functions and the images of success that we hold in our minds. Joy must therefore be cultivated as a response to the triumph of being able to be at peace in the midst of adversity, and therefore eliminating suffering from our lives. All right, so let's talk about the use of tui, right? Hexagram 22 being grace, which is, it's all about cultivation of joy. So, to deal with oppression, the cultivation of joy. Right? To deal with disappointment, to deal with exhaustion, cultivate the tui within, the joy within. All right, so let's go to line 6, which is the line that is stress that leads to the hexagram of number 6, conflict. Okay, line 6, this person is oppressed by conditions that are easily broken, right? So, in this hexagram, we go through all of the stages of oppression, right? And now we get to the top, which is a place where now we can leave out of this oppressive circumstance, okay? The person is oppressed by conditions that are easily broken. There is so much confusion that the emotional reaction might not even be related to the situation at hand. If the person applies reason to the situation, insight into the fallacies can be easily acquired, and the problem can be easily overcome. Right? So this is the point in the hexagram when we can just get up and walk away from whatever was holding us back. Right? Right. So that going into the 6, right? So the 6 is a hexagram of conflict. Okay. So, it's saying that, if you oppressed, you gotta retreat to your level of joy and peace. Pardon me. And through that way you deal with the conflict. Right? Oppression is coming from, some level of conflictual emotions or circumstances. So to deal with that, you retreat to that place of peace. Let's see. Okay, we're going to read the judgment on hexagram 6. Okay, hexagram 6, soon conflict. Okay, the conflict that corresponds to this hexagram is caused by a combination of strength, Chien, above Kan, right? Chien above, Kan below. This is the structure of the hexagram, right? The 2 trigrams that make up the hexagram. Chien above, Kan below, lack of knowledge, experience, etc. That's Kan below. Okay, it is similar to the preceding hexagram, differs only in nuances. Chien gives strength to the feeling that one is right, which cannot be the case because of Kan. Chien gives strength to the feeling that one is right, which cannot be the case because of Kan. We must divert the strength from affirming one's position to holding back from engaging in the conflict. Go again. We must divert the strength from affirming one's position to holding back from engaging conflict and to perhaps meet the opposition halfway. Or, best yet, seek help from a person that is in authority, impartiality. Okay, so let me cut real quick. So it's saying that Chien receives its strength because Chien is always right? I'm right. Right? But, sometimes that's what's causing the problem is that attitude. You know what I mean? This is like putting Chien back in its place of humility on some level, right? It's saying hold back from that level of strength because, all right, that's the conflict, right? Make your position, being strong, right? In the fact that, okay, I'm going to hold back, right? That's my strength, right? So before, usually I could just reach out and come here, you know what I mean? And that's my strength. I'm going to be strong in an internal way where I'll just allow the individual to mouth off or do whatever you got to do. My strength will be shown in my stillness, right? Moments engaged, not holding back from the conflict and perhaps meet the opponent halfway, or best yet, to seek help from a person that is in authority. Impartiality and clarity serve as a mediator to end the conflict in a just manner. Go to Tehuti, right? Tehuti brings the people back together, right? And Tehuti can be a counselor, right? In most cases, nothing less than a sage will do. The causes of a person's belief in their opinions are many and incomprehensible to most. Their temperaments, brain health, upbringing, culture, education, level of spiritual maturity, ability to think, reason, etc. In times like these, you cannot work with others to accomplish a great enterprise. Strive for union through counsel. So it's just saying, this is how you deal with, this oppressive piece, right? Okay. Again, right? 47, this is the line that we can get up and go. Well, so if we apply the counsel of hexagram 6, which is, really, to, either be still, right? Or go get some counsel, right? Basically it's saying to go get counsel, right? Right? Go get some counsel. Hexagram 6 and 36 are complementary, right? Studying the hexagram 36 will shed light on how to deal with 6, right? The 6 hexagram situations. In 36, conflicts and difficulties are created by a dark man or beliefs in a position of influence or authority, and the counsel given there is helpful for the 6 hexagram situation in which the right person to assist in the resolution of the conflict cannot be found, or the conflict is a protracted one, meaning it goes on and on, right? So, yeah. Okay, so now I don't know how, So basically applying, the reading that we got, 47 into 6, right? Now it's just saying that, the conflict is, is pretty much at its end. It's just a matter of the position you take. Now it's just time for you to go. Leave up, get up and go from the council, from the conflict. All right? All right, let's go into the tarot. Let's talk to the tarot. Talking about the week. What's going on this week? Tarot going to break it down, give us some details about the situations. So here we go. Okay, so far it's just the one. Okay, let's do it again. 2. Okay, we slowly come out, right? It must be a sucker thing, right? Slowness. Sucker is going slow, right? So we pulling it out slowly but surely. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven. Okay, and okay, like what's on the bottom. King of Pentacles, right? And we're showing, like, let's do it in order. Let's do it in order, right? Before we mess up the order, let's place that right here. All right, let's see here. We had the first card, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right. So remember, last week, our 7-day wound us up. If I'm not mistaken, on Monday was our last card, and that was the star upright. Don't quote me though. Y'all can check, right? Check the video, right? But I believe it was the star, right? Okay. And we said that there was an issue of, it was like little funny stuff, right? People doing little funny stuff that, could, do something, to, like, I don't know, people trying to mess with your reputation, stuff like that. And we went through the changes, right? We implemented our whatever we do, right, to, cultivate the happiness, right, the happy times within, right? And we were able to change that, right? It started changing by Saturday, Sunday, and Monday were positive. And Monday, it was the star, which is healing, which is wish fulfillment, which is positive, self-image, or I should say positive public image, that type of thing, right? Star. Okay, so now, Monday, we got the 7 of Wands, right? So this is about blocking something, defensive mode, right? We're in defense mode, right? So on that day of the star, right, is also a day of defending something, or something is defended, right? 7 of Wands, right? You are protecting your image, you're protecting yourself, right? You're protecting yourself. So the first thing we see today is, first thing we see out of the tarot is, one other aspect of Seker is also blocking, right? Seker can be looked at as a blocking, kind of thing, because Seker deals with delays, obstructions, right? Things that obstruct your way, right? Obstructions in the way. So this is probably a week of dealing with obstructions. 47 into the 6. There's conflicts, right? So, okay, we get it. There's conflicts, around, right? People, conflictual circumstances. People don't want to see good for you. That type of thing is still in your midst, right? So do what you do to protect, right? It ain't about crying, nothing like that, right? No, we fall back on strength, right? Strength is what's on the inside, right? So we fall back on the strength. That means protect yourself, right? Okay. However you know how. Get on your protection. Tuesday, Knight of Cups is in reverse, okay? So, we are dealing with, some individual who probably approaches with an insincere offer. You know, someone is coming with their cup, but they are upside down. They say, okay, I got something for you, but yeah, no, right? So, yeah, that's New Year's Day 7, right? So this is the last day of Mercury retrograde too. So Mercury's still on the case, right? He ain't trying to leave, right? So he comes up with the foo-foo offer. All right. So by Wednesday, the Ten of Pentacles the Nine of Pentacles, pardon me, is in reverse, right? Nine of Pentacles in reverse, right? So, be careful about your own stability, right? Your own independence, right? Be careful you don't get sucked into an offer on Tuesday that, strips you of your independence. Be careful of the contracts you sign, right? Be careful. Be careful to not lose your pentacles or your independence, etc., right? Your stability, right? By Thursday, say Monday, Tuesday, right? Okay, wait. Let's pause this up. Come on. Today, my bad, y'all. Today, blocking. Today, meditation. Today, waiting in peace, blocking. Okay, focusing on your defense. Today, right? Get your red on, right? Burn your sage today. Okay, be protected today. Okay. Tomorrow, beware of the funny offer. This could be a party. This could be a goofy New Year's Eve party. Right? I mean, it's good. Or, no, that would be tonight. Okay, right. This is New Year's, right? So, I don't know. Funny offers, right? This is the faux New Year's. It's the New Year's for Greg and them. This is Greg and them New Year, right? New Year was last week. The cosmic New Year, right? The solar system New Year was last week. Okay, so this is a week too late. Tomorrow, right? Insincere offer, Knight of Cups in reverse. Tuesday, the Pentacles are challenged. Pardon. So I might not want to go back to work. Somebody right don't want to go back to work on Tuesday, right? Okay, Wednesday, Three of Wands is in the reverse. Okay, so the ships, something is happening regarding, make sure that you are, dealing, that Seven of Wands came up as the first card. So apply that Seven of Wands all week. Stay protected. Stay protected because, this is your goals, right? So, someone is challenging your goals, Again, we got Seker, so, don't be looking to move all strong yet, Ships haven't arrived yet, that's all. Ships have not arrived, so, you're still planning, you're still waiting, you're still protecting your investments, right? Page of Pentacles on Thursday, okay? So, perhaps there is an offer by Thursday. You know what I mean? Right? Page of Pentacles. Something is new. Homie got his pentacle. He is smiling. The fields are lush. Right? So there's potential by Thursday. Okay? Potential for good stuff. By Friday, we got the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Okay. So watch your impulsive behaviors. Pardon me, on Friday. Is that the truth burp? Didn't they say something about burps? Like, is that something about, like, the truth burp? I keep hearing that. Anyway, Friday, watch it. All right, this is like a wide jet. This will come to me. Knight of Wands is in reverse. All right, so this guy is quickly moving. He got playerism on his mind in excess, right? This could represent, being off the player stuff, but this could also represent being that way with a vengeance, right? Being extra about, impulsiveness, right? Friday is that Tuifo Heteru day, so be careful about how you spread your wand. Women, men, okay? Spreading your wand. Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. Okay, Saturday, we got the Chariot. So by Saturday, we back on movement. Ironic, right? Because Saturday is Saturn's day, Seker's day. But it says that by Saturday, you can focus on getting on the Chariot, right? Making movements, okay? Movement by Saturday, right? And all of this is, what is basing or couching the reading here is the King of Pentacles, right? So this is about your, this is about, your business, right? Your money, right? This is about your stability, stuff like that, right? A lot of this stuff is going to be leading to that, okay? We got the King of Pentacles, we got the King of Cups showing, okay? So this is Scorpio, right? Cancer, Pisces, right? I tend to see him and say Scorpio immediately. The Judgment is right behind him showing. That's also Scorpio. Right? Showing. Now I'm showing too much because all of this ain't showing. Queen of Pentacles is in the reverse. And so we got a lot of court cards. Right? These are official people. Right? King of Pentacles is a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Right? So we got Capricorn, we got the earth signs, and we got the water signs on the table. Right? And Scorpio out here. Okay? Queen of Pentacles, more Capricorn. Okay? And the last thing that's really showing, because this is just a result of my movements here, is the Eight of Swords in reverse. Okay, so now this is when we come out of whatever entrapment, whatever us being in our heads, us being, obsessive about whatever habits, whatever is entrapping us, right? Whatever is keeping us locked, keeping us jailed. Okay, we're coming out of jail. Okay, this week is the great potential to come up out of jail, right? Seker is on the case. Seker is about destiny. Judgment is in the case, right? So judgment is about, a judgment. This is an assessing of karmic situations here. So, the King of Pentacles to the King of Cups, right? Pentacles, you are working for your, business, you're doing things for your business, etc., etc. This week, you're attending to your sensitivities, right? Perhaps this is about tempering your sensitivities because Seker's on the case, the King of Pentacles is on the case, the Queen of Pentacles is on the case, right? So this is tempering your emotionalism, right? This is being emotionally mature, emotionally responsible, talking about this King of Cups here and how this King of Cups is playing off of these other guys. Right, so this is like, watch your emotions. It's not a week to be emotional. Be dealing with emotions. Right, you got too many pentacles on the table. Right, make a judgment. Right, yeah. There's a judgment going on. Perhaps this is, something good that happens. Right, I don't know. You meditate on it. Meditate on it. But, that judgment is about that meditation too, because judgment often happens when when you're contemplating, right? Things dawn upon you, and it's like, okay, now I can make a judgment. Right, so again, and the last thing we see prominent was the Eight of Swords in reverse, right? So we can come out of jail. Whatever has been holding us back, right? Whatever we've been in jail about, okay? We can come out of that this week, okay? But it's a matter of waiting, right? So Seker is jail, right? How about that, right? So this is about handling the waiting in a proper way, right? Handling, the need, to deal with the, whether it's obstructions, whether it's delays, right? It's probably delays, right? You're delayed in some way. So, you're handling it in a, mature way. You're still planning. You're still doing the things you got to do. Things can hold you down, right? Things can block you. Things can delay you. But if you are internally determined, then you're going to meet your goal. You're going to get it. If it don't be this week, it'll be next week. It'll be the week after. It'll be the month after. It'll be the year after. It'll be 10 years from now. But if you keep it up, you're going to get that goal. All right? So, deal with the delay, folks. That's all. You know what I mean? That's all it says, is deal with the delay. By Saturday, things will be going your way. I don't know why I'm rhyming. It just comes out with the timing. I don't know. I'm divine in that way. All right. This is show. Peace and love, y'all. We're going to say peace and love, and we're going to come back and do this again. In a couple of days, we're going to start this E-King class, okay? All right. So, yeah, with that, I'm going to say peace and love once again. And, yeah, man. Make sure y'all get back up on your horse if you fall, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that you don't deal in a low vibration, no matter what the case, right? No matter what the case, something could happen that, hurts you hard, right? Keep your vibration high, because that's where the answer is. That's where the light is at the end of the tunnel. All right? Peace and love, y'all. Y'all be good.